I'm your host, Jason Tartick, and welcome to Trading Secrets. We talk all things money on this podcast, and we're teaching all the stuff we just weren't taught in the classroom. Nothing supports this show more than liking, commenting, and of course, subscribing. Welcome back to another episode of Trading Secrets. Today we are joined by 18-year NBA veteran Dwight Howard and professional dancer, choreographer, and his professional dance pro on Dancing with the Stars, Daniella Karagach.
He called you a veteran.
Veteran over there. How about that? Dwight and Daniella are currently partnered up on season 33 of Dancing with the Stars, both coming from physically demanding careers. They are poised to make a run this season. We're going to talk all things and all the questions you guys submitted. But Dwight and Daniella, thank you for joining me on Trading Secrets. Let's go. Hey,
I got a secret to tell y'all.
You got the mic, though. Here's where I'm going to start. Your podcast, I heard your episode with Dani and Dwight. You came out singing. Dude, you got a voice. Not only are you an NBA champion, but you could be like on Broadway, I think.
I would love to be on Broadway.
Really?
I would.
Like, if you had one karaoke song, what's your go-to song?
Kiss from a Rose. That's always my karaoke song.
Can you give us a little?
Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on a grave.
Hey! All right, we'll kick it off with text Dwight to 21523 10 times. What are the open hours that people listening right now can vote during the show?
5 p.m.
5 p.m.?
Yes, that's PST.
Okay.
That's if you're in California, please start voting at 5 p.m. If you are in New York or on the East Coast, you start voting at 8 p.m.
Okay, there you go. Get your votes locked in. We'll be voting for you.
Get your votes in now.
Get your votes in now. All right, let's start. Dancing with the Stars. Obviously, you're a professional athlete. You've had massive success. I was there night one. I saw your routine, like the things you were doing before you actually went live. I was like, that's a professional athlete. It's like you were locking your brain in to kill it, and you did kill it. Big score, 22 out of 30. Tell me a little bit about, like, what is the pregame ritual? Like, right before you get on, what do you do to get focused? Like, you got any tricks?
The pregame ritual. Yeah. So this is secrets. This is Trading Secrets.
Couple gummies or what?
Well, not any gummies. Usually before we start, I have some grass that we usually go and.
Dani, you too?
No.
I was like,
No. It's like some grass outside that we go.
Okay.
Yeah, we go and meditate in.
You ground a little bit.
Yeah, we ground
Okay.
a lot. We ground a lot that day.
Yeah.
A lot of grounding. It's a lot of grass. It's being pushed out that day.
Okay.
So,
All right.
yeah.
So a lot of grounding.
Yes.
How about you, Dani? Is there anything you do before a performance that like allows you to just get centered?
Well, recently, we've been doing the cha-cha slide.
That's what you do to like loosen up?
Yeah.
The cha-cha slide. All right.
That's how we get loose.
There's something
Yeah.
for everyone. All right, let me ask you this. do you at all feel, you've been on such big stages, do you get any type of stage fright? Do you get the butterflies? Are you not even fazed by it? Like, what's your overall take?
I be getting the butterfly.
Yeah?
I be having to pee so much before we have to go out there. I be like, oh my God, I gotta piss again. Oh my God, I gotta pee again. Like, I be having to go pee like 3-4 times before we get out there and dance.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. I don't think she'd be nervous. She'd just be over there like, you better do it good. You better not mess up a step.
Meanwhile, he messes up every step.
Oh, boy.
Last week.
Well, last week. Yeah.
A little tough last
How about
week.
you tell them what you did last week?
What happened? Let's
Okay,
hear it.
let me tell.
Because this will come out after this is live, so let's hear it. What happened?
I look over.
Okay.
I'm dancing our cha-cha routine. I look over. Dwight is in a full improv.
Just doing your own thing.
Just doing his own
Yeah?
thing.
What happened?
So what happened was, I missed a step. One of my steps was too short.
Okay.
And I couldn't catch back up. So instead of standing there and being like, oh my God, I messed up.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I just improvised. I just flown a little bit, and I just started spinning. And she turned around, and she's like,
Dwight's gone.
yeah, I was out of there.
Okay.
But but that was the best part about the whole dance, was the fact that throughout the missteps, I still had so much fun doing the dance.
Yeah.
And she's still been laughing. She has not stopped laughing.
So you were on stage live, you were laughing.
She's
Oh my God.
the whole time.
Those are talking to me, and
Yeah.
I'm still laughing.
She's still laughing the whole time.
Oh my gosh.
Because it was so crazy. The whole week was just like out of whack.
Yeah.
And the dance ended up being out of whack, you know, for it. Just not because we danced it poorly, but because we didn't dance it properly. It wasn't what it was supposed to be.
All right. As an athlete, you look at the first 3 weeks. I'm sure you have to figure out where you did things right, where you did things wrong. If you look at the last week, things didn't go as well. What would you have done different in the last week preparation-wise? Was there something that happened? Was it a mental thing? Was it a physical thing?
I think last week was super mental.
Okay.
Super mental. It was so much stuff going on. We were not at home. We was in New York. We didn't get a chance to practice at the studios that we normally practice at, so everything was kind of off a little bit.
Okay.
And then, you know, when we got back, we tried to, you know, put in work and, you know, extra hours to get everything. But I can't. It's like when you have a test in school, you try to cram everything in at the last second.
Yeah.
You know, you might get, you know, a decent grade, but you could have got a better grade if you would have actually took the time out like you were supposed to.
Gotcha. All right. That's pretty fair. Yeah. Now let's go to predictions. I want to hear right now. We're going into week 4, right?
Yes.
This will be week 4. Give me your final 4 predictions. Who you got?
The final 4?
Final 4.
I'm going to go with Chandler.
Okay.
Ilona. Myself.
Stone, we love to hear it.
And Dani. I'm going to say Dani.
Dani Amendola. All right. Yeah. Dani, let's go. What do you got? Give me your final 4. Take the mic.
I'll give you my final 5.
Final 5. Why not final 4?
Because I actually don't. I really don't know. I'm just going to tell you who I have been really enjoying.
Okay.
That's Ilona. I absolutely love her. I love Joey. I think as a male, he's like killing it. I love Dwight. And then I love Chandler. I think she's absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Then again, I also love watching Dani. And I also... Who am I missing? Oh, I love Steven! Steven, for sure. Oh, Steven's going to be in the final. I'm not even doubting it. I'm sorry. And then there's everyone else, too, because I love everyone. So, Phaedra's she's killing it. That's what I'm saying. I can't give you, like, a final 4. I'm just, like, Ilona and Steven are probably, and, yeah, Ilona and Steven are, like, my... Like, I just, they put a smile on my face. And Dwight, obviously, I'm not going to say you, because you're obvious, but...
There you go. At least you got that going.
Yeah.
I might yell at you, but you got that. Just once a day. That's not enough. You keep the mic real quick. Let's go back to Dani here. Someone we know that's not in the competition anymore. Your husband, Tasha, absolute beauty. Your choreographing's amazing. That dance move you guys did where you held that, I think that's probably the most epic move so far. You're historically known for this. Does Pasha help you with choreographing, or what's your process do you guys do it together? Dwight, are you bringing different ideas to it? Like, what does it look like to choreograph?
Well, for me, every season is so unique because every person I dance with is very unique. So I'm always trying to find what it is in their personality that they can bring to the table. And he's so open and so just energetic and fun that if I made it serious, it wouldn't be our vibe. So I had to bring a sense of just like a comedic little piece in there to just insert, because that's just what we are. We're funny. There's nothing traditional in this height difference, you know? Usually you would not put a pro this short with someone this tall.
No.
But it's funny. So I'm like, we can't be too serious about it either. Yes, we're going to have our weeks where we have to be serious and all that. But the first week, I wanted it to just be fun. And Posh always helps me out. If I'm ever in a little pickle situation, he always comes in, he helps me out, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to talk about, I want to get both your perspectives, to start with you first, is it feels like Dancing with the Stars, the show's blowing up. 14 million votes were casted on week 1, the most ever, broke all records. It feels like, though, when I'm on TikTok and social media, and especially someone who owns a talent management company, the engagement on social media is off the charts right now.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen it with any show. And it feels like, while it's also a dance competition, it almost feels like a social media competition. And
we're failing miserably.
and some of these, they're doing 15 TikToks a day. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
What are your feelings about that? What do you, Dwight, after Dani? But do you come prepared with TikToks? What's your take on how social media is changing Dance with the Stars?
I think social media is changing it for the better.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming more and more fun, and it's not so competitive. It is competitive, but it's also, they get one shot at this, and you want to make sure that they're having a great time. Because if it gets too serious, it's just not fun anymore.
Totally.
So I think social media is a great thing, but also, I don't know. I'm not stressed about the social media part. I'm more stressed about Dwight getting his steps right.
What do you
see,
think, Dwight?
I would say because we both know like about how to do the socials and stuff like that, but we be so focused on dancing and practicing that, you know, we really don't think about posting on social. So it's like tough for us to be like, oh, we gotta do more TikToks and stuff like that, because we're so locked in on what our goal is. And even though it is fun, we don't want to, and you know, we don't want to take away from the work aspect and do TikToks while we're trying to train. So, you know, I be so locked in, and I'm like, hey, let's keep going. I don't want to stop or something like that. So, yeah, I mean, we are trying to get better. I will say that yesterday we did spend about 5 minutes doing some TikToks, which was a start, because we just really, like, the whole session we're dancing.
Yeah.
So, like, for us to stop and do TikToks is like, what are we doing? Yeah, like, how do we get out of that mode, that dance mode?
Yeah. All right, let me ask you this. What dance style that you haven't done right now are you looking most forward to?
Yeah, I mean, hip-hop, freestyle.
All right, freestyle. We know you like to improvise. All about that. What dance style are you looking at, like, are you most afraid of moving forward? Not looking at last one. Shit, I don't want to do that one.
Well, I mean, the last one was crazy tough. Yeah. Only the cha-cha, only because for some reason I could not, at the time, understand how to get my arms to flow fully out when I'm doing my cha-cha.
Yeah.
Like, it was tough. And afterwards, Derek, who actually gave me the lowest score, he had a conversation with us about, you know, what I need to do and how to finish movements and stuff like that. And that really helped me out a lot. So, you know, I was glad about that.
That's pretty cool. All right, let's go into a new career track for you, which now seems like reality TV. Right? You said you're a Masked Singer. You did Special Forces, Dancing with the Stars. When you look at Special Forces, we have had people on from the show. They have said it's the worst, hardest 8 days of their life. When you compare Special Forces to Dancing with the Stars training, which one has been harder for you?
I mean, I think you can't compare the two, because with Dancing with the Stars, yes, we are dancing all day, and it's so tough. It's very tough to dance and do all that. But, like, tear gas, being set on fire, like, you know, all that stuff is crazy. Jumping out of helicopter backwards, like, in the ocean. Like, we're not doing that here.
Yeah,
so it's
true.
a different type of, like, energy system that we're using.
Yeah.
So, but this is, like, so much fun and right up my alley because I love to dance. But the other show is right up my alley, too, because I like to do the craziest shit in the world. So it's like, you know, I got to find a happy medium in dancing.
All right. It seems like one's like a crazy sprint, the other's a marathon.
Yeah.
Leah, I was talking to her. She told me that when she was on Dancing with the Stars, it was harder for her to be on Dancing with the Stars than it was training for the Olympics, which I was surprised by. Like, that threw me. I didn't expect that.
I can understand how she would say that.
Do you think at times Dancing with the Stars training is harder than practicing when you're in the NBA?
Yeah, because we're going literally 4 or 5 hours. And our practices, you know, was max 2 hours.
Okay.
And then you have your own time to do your own thing. So,
interesting.
But practice is 2 hours max, because you don't want to do too much for the game. So, but we're going
pretty hard. Yeah. All right. Reality TV, when you look at, like, your competition shows, when you look at the future of your career, like, where do you see it in the space of entertainment? It seems like you got the podcast, you're starting to carve out.
Yeah, I like to do a lot of entertainment. I like hosting, doing a lot of entertainment, acting.
Okay.
You know, I've always wanted to do more movies, but because of basketball, I wasn't, you know, really allowed to, like, really full out act. But, you know, I would love to do that.
Okay.
Saturday Night Live to do some skits. I made up some skits.
You're coming back in the day.
Well, you have to ask Dani. I don't know.
Can you confirm or
He's
deny?
really funny.
Yes. So, like, what can you do? What's your weakness?
I mean, I don't talk about myself like that, so I don't know.
Come on.
I'm not.
Wow.
She can say that.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. Dani, I got a question for you. When we think about career track in this space, there's a lot of it. I asked Jenna about this. There's a lot of like dancing chemistry, and your husband's in this space. Have you ever had like hurdles in dealing with just some of the career navigations that tie into like dancing with another partner and chemistry and some of the wandering thoughts of what might be happening in this space? And if so, just I think it's good for anyone back home that's in any career. How do you deal with any form of noise?
Honestly, we're both, like, Basha and I are very secure in terms of ourselves. Like, I respect myself enough that if he did something or felt some way about someone else, I respect myself enough to take myself out of the situation, and he's the same way with me. Yeah. If I were to ever do anything, we don't accept that. And we respect ourselves enough and each other enough that nothing like that would ever happen. So because we're secure in our marriage and ourselves, I think that is a huge thing, you know? And sometimes when you're looking for happiness elsewhere, or you feel like someone gives you that reassurance, that kind of can be the trigger for it. Yeah. But we always connect chemistry with our partner. Like, there's no such thing as not chemistry when you're seeing someone every single day for 3 months. Hours and hours a day. You will always create a chemistry, but that chemistry doesn't always necessarily have to be sexual. It could be just like he's becoming one of my best friends, you know, because we're literally chilling and getting through hardships together. So I think that people who don't do this every day and who are not raised in dancing, the fact that they see someone being so close to their person is a little bit of like I don't know, it's like a standoff thing, but for us, we have been dealing with people being so close to us since we were like 6 years old. That's just normal for us, you know? It's like touching someone like this, it's not a big deal for us. Looking into someone's eyes is not a big deal for us. So for the pro dancer, we've been through it. We know what happens, you know? But someone who's never done it before, it could be like, oh, why is he touching my girl like that? Why are you touching my husband like that? So I get it, but
especially in a time I feel like the art of like touch has gone away so much because of technology. So I feel like every day those thoughts probably become greater and greater. Dwight, from your perspective, have you, I don't know what your relationship status is or anything like that, but have you had to deal with any of the outside noise as it relates to like with a partner as part of being scored well?
No, because, you know, I totally understand, you know, like, that people are going to kind of look at it and be like, well, how could two people get so close and be partners and not, like, I don't see her in that light. You know, I respect her craft, you know, her husband, their relationship, and, you know, I'm not even that type of person. So, you know, for me, it's just like, I'm going to give her all of me because she's taking her time out to dance, and this is, you know, opportunity to where, you know, I've never danced like this for a show. Yeah. And, you know, she's been such a great person that, you know, I'm going to show her that respect and, you know, how I train, how I treat her family and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't have any issues in that area. And I'm a pretty secure person. Yep. So I wouldn't be like jealous if I had a partner who was dancing with a guy and being close. Because they're dancing, they're doing a job. Yeah. You know, so. Yeah.
Love it. Two beautiful answers. All right, Dani, I want to go back to you, your career track, and then Dwight, we're going to get a little into basketball, and then we'll wrap with your trading secret. Mm-hmm. But with you, I remember us talking once over dinner, and you were telling me how, as a student, you were a poor student. And I believe you told me it was a little bit about your ADHD. But at a young age, you were able to find a path to, like, use your ADHD as, like, a super productive way to excel in one area. A lot of people that are listening to this podcast right now have some form of either ADHD, ADD, something that's blocking them from performing in their life. What advice do you have for them, given the path you've had?
Yeah, my path was pretty crazy. I had nothing growing up. My mom was a single mom. She worked 3 jobs for me to have 1 dance lesson in 2 weeks. And dancing is very expensive. Yeah. It's not the cheapest sport. So she pretty much devoted her time and life to me, and we made it through. We were working our butts off. I was making sure that I can give whatever I could to the day that I had lessons. And I just remember I couldn't focus in school, and I was prescribed medication at a very young age. My mom is a psychologist. Wow. So when she saw the medication they wanted to give me, she was like talking to this other woman whose kid was already in ballroom dancing. And they were like, well, my kid was very hyperactive and it worked for them. So she tried it. I fell in love with it at 6 years old, and I was like, this is for me. I love it. I'm active. I get tired. I come home. I sleep well. I go to school. I do well in school the next day. So this was my outlet for ADHD. And I worked hard. My mom had no idea how far I would go in this, but she just gave her all to me. And hard work really pays off. That's all I can say. I've been working hard since 6 years old doing this. So.
Since 6 years old, 7-time U.S. 10 dance champion, Latin champion, rising star of professional dance champion at Blackpool Festival, U.S. Latin America show dance champion.
I
could list all
really
of these. But I also think what's really cool is, right, you've only been on Dance with the Stars since season 29. Third place, first place, 11th, second place. And, of course, here we got a top 4 finish. It's pretty cool. The last question I got for you on career track is Dancing with the Stars and all the things you've done professionally or as a child since 6, is Dancing with the Stars like the pinnacle of the career? Like, is this the place? Is this the NBA of the dancing world?
100%. This put ballroom dancing on the map, and there's no other show like Dancing with the Stars. And I am so fortunate enough that I get to meet people like Dwight and just form connections and friendships forever, you know? So this is something I don't just do because it's great financially. I do it because I truly love it, and I love it with a passion. So I'm very fortunate to be a part of the show, and I do believe that this is probably the best place for me to be.
I love it. Awesome. Dwight, I got to come to you. I heard the word financially, so I got to bring it in. Google searches out there say NBA career earnings of $245 million, net worth of $140 million. We had a guy on this podcast once who was worth $9.2 billion. It was insane. But when we hear the numbers, my theory is, like, instead of creating judgment towards it or resentment or any things, we can learn so much from it. So when we think about some of these numbers, let's start with best and worst. What is, when you look at the wealth that you've created, what is like one of the best things you've done with your money to create wealth from the money you earn? And then we'll go with worst. Like
the best thing that I have done with my money?
Yeah.
The best thing was invest in myself.
So tell me more about that, though.
A lot of times we want to invest in, a lot of other different things.
Sure, crypto, real estate, whatever, yeah.
But when I say invest in myself, it was investing in the right trainer and investing in my food so I could play 18 years. So in the NBA, the average career is 4 years. So to play anything over 4 years, just 4 years is just like you had to do something to get there. And mine was investing in myself. I spent a lot of money year after year making sure I had the best trainers, the best equipment, the best food, the best of the best, so I could last as long as I've lasted.
Interesting. When it comes to athletes, what do you think the biggest mistake is? Either is it like partying? Is it something nutritionally they don't do? Like, you've lasted 18 years. Is there something you've seen athletes do wrong or that you...
I think it's just opportunities. It's so hard, in this sport. Basketball is obviously growing. The game is worldwide. You got players from France and Germany, China, all over the world. So now it's extremely difficult to make it to that level. So the guys who do make it, I would say that they got to that place and they stopped being focused. Yeah. It's easy to get off track because of everything that's going on. Yeah. And it's a whole new world. The world in the NBA is like 1% of, what people would see. So it's really crazy.
Yeah, we've had Rob Gronkowski on A-Rod before, and I've asked both these questions. I want to ask you, was there a payday or a check that you got or a deposit that you're like, oh my God, I'll never forget this moment. This changed my life?
Actually, not really.
Interesting.
Yeah, for me, the basketball wasn't even about money. Money has been great,
Yeah.
and it's afforded me opportunity to do so many different things. But my dream was to be in the NBA, and spread love around the world. So the money is just, I never been like, oh my God, this is a big old check. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's just been like, I worked so hard for this. So, I'm not going to even look at it in basket, and I'm going to put it in the bank and let it grow. But I've never been that type of person. Be like, damn, I got 50 M's. Oh, hell, I'm finna, like, it's just never been in me, because it was all about how hard I worked. If I worked hard, if I was dedicated every single day to making it, then that was kind of like that moment that you're saying that you're supposed to have when you get that much money. Walking across that stage was my moment.
I love that special. I feel like so many people get focused on the dollars, lose track of what you're doing, and even the impact. Like when you went over, you were in
Taiwan, yeah.
And so a lot of people were actually asking me, when you're in Taiwan, was that a money play? It sounds like it was more of like an impact.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a money play. Actually, from being over there, I was able to start my own league. So I have a professional league that plays in Philippines, Taiwan, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Macau. And so this league is to help players who don't have a name, who don't have like the opportunity to be seen worldwide, and now because of that, they get bigger jobs and bigger opportunities with bigger organizations until ours is like lifted off the ground.
I love it. That is awesome. The last thing I got for you, you've obviously had a lot of success. We talked about it, and in the intro, I'll talk even more about it. But one financial thing that I have to assume was a struggle, I want to ask about it, was I saw these articles about this legal battle of someone defrauding of you. Yeah, when the guy got sentenced. So my understanding is the guy presented an investment to a WFP.
Oh, no, I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, what happened? Let's hear it.
So in 29, I'm a big WNBA fan.
Yeah.
And in 2018, 2019, I started wanting to get involved with owning a WNBA team.
Sure.
So I used to go to all the Atlanta Dream games. I would go take my mom, got her season tickets, and we would just always go.
Yeah.
So at one point, it was on the ticker that the Dream was up for sale. So I was like, oh, my God, I'm close to retiring. I'm home here in Atlanta. My mom go to the games. If I was to own this team, this would like set me up for crazy. I have 2 daughters. They could possibly play one. I'm just thinking like way crazy. So I started talking to the Atlanta Dream. They're like, we want you to have the team. Like, this would be perfect. And I'm like, I need an investment group, because I was told at the time that as an NBA player, I couldn't be the face or the forefront of a team while I played. Okay. So I'm like, dang, I'm still not going to stop chasing this dream. So my agent actually had reached out to some people who wanted to make an investment group. And I thought these people were people that he already knew, he had relationships with and stuff like that. And it really started with him as being lying, to me or whatever about, everything. So my agent, yeah. So he was a part of it as well. It was a big scheme. It wasn't just the one person. It was 3 guys, and then it was my old financial advisor of mine and one of my old teammates. They all was in this whole ring.
Yeah.
And they had presented to me this PDF after conversations of what I wanted to do with the team, how I wanted to bring in certain people, how I wanted to highlight women off the court and how difficult it is to be a professional athlete, a woman, have children, and have to travel. That's all the stuff they would have to do, kind of put a spotlight on it. And so my agent, he made it seem like everything was, up to par. I had emails, I had phone calls, voice, everything. So I'm thinking this is all legit.
Of course.
So I give the first installment of my investment, and then I get the second installment like days later. Next thing you know, I don't hear from nobody anymore after that. My agent, he's slow to respond. The other guys, I didn't hear from them. And they just went on a splurging spree. Houses, cars, pianos, art.
7 million, right?
Yeah, $7 million for me.
From you. And the channel.
Yeah, and he only had $1 million.
In there, right?
Yeah. And so that really, it broke my heart because that, I really put my trust, in my agent and then these other guys. One, because they're black. And two, I'm like, man, this is something that would have been really great for our community and for women, because I'm looking at it like women's sports is about to take off.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling him, they got messages, and it was so crazy. I had to read these messages, like, during the trial, like, they're showing me, I had to read them out loud. I'm telling him, like, man, the WNBA about to take off. I can see it. And he's like, bro, I see it too. And then next thing you know, they take the money and they out of here. So
unbelievable.
Yeah, I was pissed.
In the recap, we'll talk a little bit about their sentence and everything, how it's working. For you, though, people looking back at home, people bring up investments, there's opportunities. What's your biggest learning lesson for people that are watching?
Don't trust nobody, not even yourself.
I like that.
Don't trust nobody, not even yourself, because you never know what you will do at any moment. You got to trust the spirit that's leading that person. That's how I feel, spirit first. So you can sense that somebody's spirit isn't right.
Yeah.
Don't go down that path.
Does it make sense to get someone that's not affiliated with the investment as like a consultant then? Would you have done that, Hindsight?
Yeah, I would.
Someone that has no skin in the game.
Yeah.
Just like it's someone looking over you, kind of.
And just really going through it, define everything myself. I really put a lot of trust in my agent and the people that was involved, because my agent, I thought, was trustworthy.
Of course.
And in this business, you can't trust nobody, especially when it comes to millions of dollars. So that was a lesson that I learned.
Unbelievable. That's a hell of a training secret. Guys, text Dwight 21523. You can vote up to 10 times. I could talk to you guys for another hour, but you got to go do your call practice now. I got to wrap with the training secret. Dani, we'll start with you. It could be a financial lesson. It could be a life lesson. It could be a quote. Anything that's special to your track from 6 years old to today at Dance with the Stars, killing it. What's your training secret you can leave us with?
Trust the process. Sometimes you don't know why it's happening to you, but just trust the universe knows better than you do, and it'll guide you to where you need to be.
I love it. All right. Dwight, what do you leave us with?
That is definitely true. I would say my secret would be, it's not a secret, but I would say preparation and preparation and consistency. Preparation and consistency always breed success.
I like it.
The way you prepare and how consistent you are in your preparation, you're going to be successful. There's no other way that I see it not working. I would say that preparation, consistency, success.
And that's coming from an NBA champion. I could honestly, you're a man of your word. You just came from PT right now, so you're prepared.
My ass is hurting.
Where can everyone find everything you have going on, your podcast, all the things?
Hey, you guys, y'all can check out my podcast. It's Above the Rim with Dwight Howard. It's going to be on YouTube. It's already out there now on YouTube. You guys can check it out. We got some great episodes coming out. Jeannie Buss, Ric Flair. Oh, man, we got some good ones coming up. So y'all guys check it out. And Dani, we have to get her on the show. She's been amazing, an awesome partner, a great human being. I love dancing with her. I would definitely do this for the rest of my life if I could dance and be a part of this journey. It's so amazing. Check us out. Vote 10 times. Tell everybody that you know, even your grandma who ain't got no eyes. Tell her to vote.
Dani, let us know, where can people find your jewelry company, all the things you got going on? Give a shout out.
First of all, if you're looking for wedding dance lessons, we have the Netflix of wedding dance at weddingdance.school. And then if you're looking for 14-karat jewelry with pure diamonds, daintybydk.com.
There you go. Guys, thank you so much for being on Trade Secrets, and we are rooting for you to be in the finals. Let's go.
Let's go. See y'all in the finals.
Hey!